Morning, how's it going? Oh. Feels quite a bit cooler this morning than it was yesterday. I don't know if it's supposed to get way hotter this afternoon or not. I'm not sure. Three. 5 degrees. Oh, a lot. Yeah, a temperature swing of 5 degrees is a lot. Well, it's about 68, I would think. 18 degrees Celsius. Whatever that is. Fahrenheit. That was pretty close. I said 68 and it's 67.9. Yeah, instead of 106 to 100 is not really a difference. That's about the same. Like here yesterday morning, it was 20 on my ride to work, and my ride home it was 33. So same thing, it was like 70 in the morning, like 90 in the afternoon.
Speech disabled. Aggie4 said once we start seeing 100 per day high, it'll start dropping off fairly quick over the next few weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, here we'll get like spikes. There'll be spikes of weather where we'll get 3 or 4 days of hot, and then it'll drop back to normal. And in the summer, normal is like mid-20s, mid to high 20s.
Aggie4 said we won't see 15 to 20 feet till January.
Oh. And in January it'll be like 0 and 5.
Aggie4 said how far are you from Seattle? I know it's a ways, just not sure how real-life you are did.
Seattle is, actually if you go to Victoria, Victoria is 100 kilometers south of here, and Victoria is almost level with with Seattle. But if I was to go to Seattle, like if I drove, I'd take the ferry. It's like 3.5 hours. I know there's a ferry, a passenger, I think it takes cars as well, out of Victoria that goes to, I think, Port Mellon, something like that. Half a day is pretty much. See, the southern tip of Vancouver Island, when they made the Canadian-US border, they made the border pretty much dead straight along a parallel line. And when it came...
said I am thinking of doing Seattle to Portland next year. If it was close, might take
a
day of it and come up there.
Yeah, it's like, say, it's a half a day, probably. That Portland to Seattle, that'd be, or Seattle to Portland, that'd be, looks like a good ride. So many rides I want to do, it's not enough time. Had a big ride on Saturday. Hey, kitten. Yeah, Saturday is the Tour de Victoria. That is a good, fun ride. So if you guys ever came up this way, and wanted to ride, I would schedule it around the Tour de Victoria.
Aggie4 said 378 meters km over 2 days, not non-stop.
Yeah, that's a lot of riding. I do a charity ride every year around September. Well, not since COVID, but it's only 100K a day. 378, that's like pushing it. That's a lot of riding. Like I'm doing the 140 kilometer distance at the Tour de Vic, and I know after that I'm usually toast. So I couldn't imagine getting up the next day and riding that distance again. I think the elevation though.
876 said good morning guys.
Morning.
Aggie4 said for the Seattle ride, there is no middle stop. It's one long ride.
Oh, is it? I don't think the elevation is as severe though. We'll see how it goes.
Like 1,300 meters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Tour de Victoria, the 140K is 1,800 meters. I think the 160K distance is 2,100. Not a whole lot of flat.
At DRBG Going Tour de Victoria.
Yeah.
Rod 876 said, how long is your morning commute?
It's about 12.5 kilometers. Probably not doing any extra today. I'm running running behind. It was one of those mornings. I got up the same time I normally do and did my normal routine, and all of a sudden it was like 7:15. I'm like, what the? I try to usually leave by 7. I don't really know what happened to the time. Like the clock just skipped forward 15 minutes.
Rod 876 said, lol, I know what you mean.
It happens every once in a while. I just like, it confuses me because I was like, I didn't do anything different than I wouldn't do every morning, and my bike was even ready to go. Like I had it sitting in the garage. Like all I had to do was just like walk out and go. I don't know, maybe I brushed my teeth extra long. I don't know. A glitch in the matrix. What the heck? The chain fell off. That's weird. Look, and there's a cat. There we go. Back.
Aggie4 said, long ride for tour is 2,200 meters.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to do the 160 this year, but I deferred down to the 140 because I'm like, oh man, well, it was a mutual decision with some buddies. I've done the 140 twice before, but that extra 20 kilometers with like 300 more meters of climbing, it's a lot of climbing for 20 kilometers extra. That's next year's goal. Next year I will do the 160 for sure. Yeah, it's a neat ride because they close down all the roads. The entire course is like closed course. They have traffic control at every major intersection, and when traffic control sees a rider coming, they stop the traffic and wave you through the intersection. So you can pretty much just like ride in the middle of the road for 140K like this, and you can be like, yep, we're on a bike ride. They even get the people that normally park on the street to not park on the street, so there's no cars even on the sidewalk. Like in residential areas, they post notices like event in progress, you know, do not park on the street Saturday. And they have tons of like an aid station every, you know, 20 kilometers. And I mean, Victoria is beautiful. And it starts and stops right downtown on the Parliament building lawn. And they feed you after. You like do your bike check. Like,
said that would be cool. I'm going to keep it on the radar.
Yeah, then you eat like on the Parliament lawn after the ride. And they've designed the routes in a way that everyone sort of finishes together. Like it's all the routes converge, and the start times are such that as you get closer to the end.
And what's the closest airport?
Victoria has an international airport. Victoria Airport is not really in Victoria, it's in Sydney, which is like 45 minutes out of Victoria.
Aggie4 said okay, cool, thanks.
Or you fly into Vancouver and then go Vancouver to Victoria. Or you fly into Vancouver and then take the ferry. I know you can go downtown. Oh, and actually with the start, there's like the downtown core of Victoria has so many hotels. The hotel I'm staying in is about 100 meters from the start finish line, which is freaking awesome. So you pretty much wake up, put your gear on, and you go downstairs and you're like, yeah, here's the start. But I'm hoping to stream most of the ride Saturday. I don't know if I'm gonna get cell reception the whole way, but that is the plan.
Said might be surprised to do that in Tahoe. That extra weight got him at the end.
Yeah. Well, luckily I've been commuting a lot, and most of my riding is with the bags. Like not only do I have all the streaming gear, I got my work stuff. So pretty much not going for time either. I'm like just going to finish this year. So it's going to be a 200-watt casual cruise. Take it easy on the uphills and try not to burn matches. I'll probably try to hold on to the start as long as possible, because that'll get you extra distance. Because it's, you know, there's going to be like 500, 600 people mass start, and the very beginning of the ride is pretty flattish, so you can get stuck in the draft and pretty much just hum along doing 150 watts. So for like the first hour, you can get a lot of extra kilometers for not much effort. Oh, do not enter. Can I get onto the bridge? Yep. Also, Bike Beast is a featherweight. If he like brings his wallet, it adds 1% of his weight. I'm fat. like I'm already up there. I'm like 225 pounds right now. So me adding 4 pounds of streaming gear doesn't make jack squat difference. It's funny, my cross bike, I've been riding my cross bike with the bags on it a lot, doing longer distance rides. So it should feel extra fast when I jump onto the road bike. Because even with the streaming gear and I've got 20 pounds worth of crap I'm carrying all the time. So my road bike with the streaming gear is still way lighter than my cross bike, even with no bags. So I think the idea is to trick my brain so I feel excessively fast. At the same time, the goal is to not get caught up with the front group because they're pulling you along, and know when to call it and start slowing down, because that's the problem too, is if you burn yourself at the beginning, it's a long way to go. I don't know if the ride goes right beside, but I think it goes past Royal Roads University, or at least on the grounds. That's where the Royal Roads University is, where Hatley Castle is. And that's the building, or someone's old house that they used for the X-Men movies. Hatley Castle was like the X-Men's school. Oh, here we go. Thursday morning, climbing the stupid hills. I need to get a new derailleur and a new cassette. This is too hard.
Force said head to AFK. Work calls.
Oh, you didn't miss much. Just climbing the stupid hill. The worst is over. So I need a new rear derailleur and a new cassette with a bigger range. We have 1136. It's not enough. Guy pushed the button and he's like, screw this. It's taking way too long. And I pushed it and it went 2 seconds. Boom, green.
Aggie Force said get a gravel bike. Cannondale Topstone comes with 11 to 42 on the back.
Yeah, 1142 would be nice. I have an 1136 now, but 1140. I think my wife's got an 1140 on hers, which is decent. Problem is, I really like the steps on the smaller cassettes.
Yeah.
Like 1136 is just a nice step between each gear, but 40, like that hill back there, it's only about 15%, but morning, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Trying to beat the yeah. Oh, not a whole heck of a lot. Just on my way to work.
Have you gotten away this summer?
A bunch of camping, but
That's good.
Tour de Vic on Saturday.
Oh, right.
Mebun paved the following weekend. So
So we hardly have any people.
yeah, I was noticing that. Like it seems.
I checked yesterday morning, we only had 48 signups.
That's I expected like 200.
Yeah, I know, so did I.
You know what I think it is? It's like too late in the year.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Like, because even now, like, everyone already has their summer plans.
Yeah.
And like, we already had all of our camping booked by the time it was announced. Like, it almost needs to be in like May or June.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, people that have already done 2 or 3 events,
Yeah.
they're kind of done, right?
Yeah. Like, I always thought Testa Metal in Squamish was always Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And I think Testa Metal is no longer.
No.
But I mean, that would be a good, like, you know, 3rd week of June.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't the Unpaved though part of the Island series?
Yeah, it is, but it's sort of like, do you want to be part of the series if you're,
But I'm just thinking, wouldn't there be people that had committed to the whole series?
well,
Or is
you would,
the 48?
well, I don't know, like, do you get anything for doing the series? Is there points? Like,
I don't think so.
I think last year there was, or not last year, but the first year, yeah, last year. I think if you did that, you got points accumulated throughout the like the 3 races. I don't think that's the case this year. I'm gonna be, I signed up for the 110. I'm gonna be all by myself.
Oh my God.
I'm like, well, I just expected like to build from last year, and I thought like Nanaimo is such a perfect spot to attract people from Vancouver. So I thought, you know, like you get Vancouverites for coming over for the day. Like really, it should be the premier gravel event on the island.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
Close to the ferry.
you know. So I was just sort of expecting this year would be like 200 people, next year 300. You know, and it just
What are we at? Last year we had like 120 or something.
yeah.
So my thoughts are that this year people were allowed to travel and allowed to just
I think
be free, and last year you couldn't do anything.
I think you're totally right on that.
Everyone's so many people I know, you know, across Canada, Alberta, going to the States, going to Europe, just because they can.
I think that's probably it. There's no one to actually go in the race because
Yeah.
everyone's gone.
Everyone's like, we've been not doing anything for 2 years. Now we can go.
I wonder what the numbers were like from the other races. Did you hear?
Well, I heard Forbidden was like 175,
Oh wow.
or that's what I think they said on Discord.
But Courtney Comox has, Cabo River has a huge off-road cycling,
Yeah,
mountain biking community.
yeah. I think we moved the date a couple months.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. It was just pushed back a bit too far. I was always a bit suspicious of that date, but
Well, and I think you got to announce the date in like
didn't really say anything.
you got to announce the date in like December.
Yeah.
Be like, here it is, because
Well, since Rock City just posted about the Belgian waffle line in May next year.
yeah. Well, that's exactly what I think you need to do. It's just,
Well, the big problem was Roseanne.
yeah,
Just getting them to prove it.
This particular date for this year is hard because it is really, it's the last or second to last weekend that people will get away if they have kids before you have to go to school.
yeah.
And me as a teacher, I'm already looking at, well, I need to do prep, but
Yeah, well, that, yeah.
it's time for this.
Let's go all the way up. I signed up to volunteer, but there was only 4 people signed up.
Oh, I know. I was almost thinking, like, do I give up my spot and volunteer? I was like,
Well,
That's a-
I can volunteer
that's-
if we need people.
that's like another issue is volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's not the best. I think last year people were hungry for an event. Like say this year everyone's traveling because you're allowed to, and it's just a bad weekend.
Yeah, it is. Where do you work? Lee? Oh, you're at the electrical.
Yeah, just on Northfield here.
What's that furry thing you've got on there on your front?
I'm live streaming my commute.
Oh, I was gonna say it looks like a mic. So.
Yeah, I got. It was my COVID boredom project, and I just caught.
You do that every day?
I try to. I mean, these rides are kind of boring.
So we have to watch what you say then.
No, I have it set for mature audiences. It varies. Like I got 3 people watching today. Had about 10 yesterday. But I'm heading up this way. You guys enjoy the rest of your ride.